I'd like to talk about the word temporary when referring to tinnitus and start off by apologizing to some members of the tinnitus community if this has caused offense or suffering or upset. The last thing I want to do is to cause any suffering. I really want to try and help everyone with tinnitus to the best of my ability. So the temporary word is referring to the feedback loop that we have in our nervous system. The nervous system's constantly going, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I can relax, I can relax, I can relax, I can switch off, I can switch off. We have these moments of assessing the whole system and bringing it back into balance. Let's call this balance homeostasis or equilibrium. This means that things are okay. This is where the nervous system wants to be. The sensors can be just quietly switched off, pottering along in the background in screen save. And then when we drink coffee, we can smell that. The sense of smell flares up. When the phone rings, the hearing switches on. We hear that. But quite often, we're just resting in a pottering along quietly in the background kind of mode, saving energy. If we hear a noise and the mind goes, what's that? What's that? What's that? And we start attaching meaning to it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And we go online and we read horror stories. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Quite quickly, this temporary loop that we go into, which is constantly changing just now, can become activated. So just now I'm bothered. Just now I'm bothered. What's this? What's this? What's this? This is how the nervous system works behind the scenes. It's constantly reassessing things and constantly trying to get back into balance. So if we go around in that rather Catherine Tate kind of way, with a brilliant British comedian, Catherine Tate, if you don't know her, look her up, she's amazing. I'm bothered, I'm bothered, I'm bothered, I'm bothered. The whole system flares up. The focus becomes really much sharper, and we can get into a horrible negative loop where we're acutely aware of the ringing. The nervous system's registering this as a danger or a threat, flooding ourselves with adrenaline, which heightens our senses. Our senses go into fight or flight and flare up and listen out for danger and look out for danger more. So we become hyper vigilant and our hearing becomes hypersensitive. And this can lead to horribly distressing symptoms. This is all dependent on how your central nervous system is registering in the moment the situation. So if you're attributing a negative meaning to it, oh my God, this will never go, awful, you're going to go into, I'm bothered, I'm bothered, I'm really bothered, I'm really bothered. And that can flare the whole thing up over time. So in each moment, just now, the system's choosing to flare itself up. It's choosing to focus on the hearing. It's choosing to attach meaning to it and to register it as a threat or a danger. Very much like a lion out there. So the crucial thing is to go from I'm bothered to am I bothered to not bothered, not bothered. So if you're in a state and you have a cold shower, your nervous system is going to go, as you step into the shower, I'm bothered, I'm bothered, I'm bothered. And then it's going to be, wait a minute, cold water, change nervous system, change blood flow, reorganize the whole coping strategy of the body to manage cold water, which is bringing in a powerful physiological response from head to toe, right the way through the whole central nervous system. So if you're in a cold shower, your tinnitus is going to be down-regulated, and you're going to be far more aware of the hugely strong experience of cold water flooding through the whole of your body and changing your nervous system. Your nervous system is going to go into, oh, cold water, need to change, divert blood flow, need to divert blood flow. And it will then go into a different strategy. and tinnitus gets pulled down a peg or two. And like Wim Hof says, the Dutch guy, the Iceman, it cold water's anti-inflammatory. You can almost hear your sinuses popping as the respiratory pathways open up. It's actually a powerful nervous system tonic that calms the nervous system down. When you step out of the shower, you're going to be much more grounded, and by that I mean aware of what's going on inside your skin bag. And the mind, the racing thoughts will have slowed down, and your nervous system will be going, am I bothered? Am I bothered? Wait a minute, what's going on? What's going on? Am I bothered? Am I bothered? Something opens up. So you start to step into a different way of being. If you then get into a yoga practice and do an hour of yoga on the floor, instead of going, I'm bothered by this, I'm bothered by this, I'm bothered by this, you're going to be feeling your spine. You're going to be shifting the focus. And by the end of a yoga session, for example, you could be dropping down into not bothered, don't care, don't care. And as you settle, the senses calm down, the body relaxes, the thinking slows down. You can move from catastrophic thinking to not really that bothered in a matter of minutes. This is temporary. This is something that's happening now, and in each moment you can step into a new experience. And the nervous system right now is reassessing the situation. And right now it's reassessing it again. You know, we all live in the moment right now. Neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to adapt and monitor the situation right now, this is reality. This is how the brain works. So after a powerful cold shower or a lovely swim in the sea in the summer, in Britain the sea is quite cold, or after an hour of yoga, or after a lovely evening laughing with friends around the dinner table, your system will change and you'll go from I'm bothered to not bothered, not bothered, not bothered. And when you stop attributing meaning, negative meaning, to tinnitus, and you start to see it as a healthometer that's very changeable, dependent on how you are in yourself and the kind of messages you're telling yourself about it, then it becomes much freer. And in my tinnitus matrix, you move out of this stuck mode where tinnitus behaves like a tyrant and you feel trapped. You come out of the freezing response and you start moving up to where tinnitus behaves like a doctor. If you do this, it gets better. If you do that, it gets worse. And then you get over the line here where I know I can get better. I know how to focus the mind into I'm not bothered mode. So what? Who cares? You can get into that state of so what? Who cares? When you've had plenty of experiences of switching off, not focusing on it, and coming back into a genuine sense of well-being. This is not an idea. After a cold swim and a yoga class, your mind and your body will be very different. You will be feeling different and your focus will change. So temporary, when I say it's temporary, I'm talking about how you are right now, and how you are in the next moment changes from moment to moment. The only thing that doesn't change, or the slowest thing to change and the hardest things to change, is the mindset. You know, we get so stuck in mindsets sometimes. They can feel like Himalayan mountain ranges. But actually, when you are in the cold shower and you feel your experience changing, then lots of things can start opening up and changing. So this is to acknowledge the feedback loop system. If you get into an anxious state and you're focusing on any part of the body, the stimulation gets amplified and amplified and amplified in the positive feedback loop until the conditions change, and then they get de-amplified and reassessed and down regulated. with tinnitus, it's incredibly helpful to find strong external stimulations to help us switch off. For example, the cold shower or body therapy or mindfulness practices, having support, having places to process your feelings. All these things help shift you, and you can start to move into a more positive, more nurturing, less fearful state of mind. So you move into a more beneficial loop of, I'm not bothered, I'm not bothered, I can manage this, I can manage this. And the whole system can switch off and down regulate. So, temporary, everything is happening just now. And when we find the right conditions around us, the right people, places, situations, therapies, focuses, all of this can start to undo and release and settle, and we can move back into homeostasis. Our nervous system is designed to get back into homeostasis. The body is trying to get back into that calm, centered state where everything can just switch off and potter along, conserve energy until we need to focus on something with our mind, with our body, and adapt to any new situation as it presents itself to us. So please understand that temporary is referring to a physiological central nervous system reality of things that are arising right now, right now, right now. So when you watch Catherine Tate and you see that person who screams every time a light flashes, ah! The Christmas tree lights flash, ah! We do react like this. We react to our thoughts, to our feelings, to the messages around us. We react to negative messages or negative situations, just as we do with positive situations and positive messages. So I hope this helps explain what I mean by temporary. I think this is pointing to a reality of a constantly unfolding process of just being a person, being a human being, and how we are constantly evolving and changing.